Yep, an epiphany hit me. Thanks to my buddy Justin Walker, who runs Kuz's Corner. Check him out. He's a pretty young podcast in itself. It's a good podcast, so check Kuz's Corner out. But he's the one that's inspired me to do this. I was just driving back from doing a few errands with the wife, and he's like, "Man, are you not going to do a story about Calvin Ridley? Didn't he play for your team, Alabama?" I'm like, "Yeah, I was going to do it." And it just, when the story broke, I wasn't able to really do it, a story or do a podcast on it. Uh, and I figured maybe the boat had passed on that, but it's still sticking out in everybody's minds, and it's really sticking in my craw too, because I got a few choice words about it, and that is the NFL, NBA, Major League Baseball, all these professional sports. By the way, this Baltimore Orioles hat that I got on is the last thing that I ever bought from one of the professional sports organizations. And that was about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. I stopped watching professional sports probably 2 years ago. And I didn't even try. I wouldn't, it's like, this is what's so profound about what I'm saying, is I didn't even try to stop watching them. I just stopped watching them. And I don't even know why. I just stopped watching them. I know why. But it wasn't like I was like, all right, I'm going to stop watching these pro sports. I'm making a protest by how they do things, yada, yada, yada. None of that. I just stopped watching them. And what does that say? That the casual fan that you had watching your sports every once in a while just stopped watching without even thinking about it. Without even thinking about it being a protest. I stopped watching because the NFL in particular is probably one of the most hypocritical, inconsistent organizations outside of the NCAA. They're probably worse than the NCAA. And that's saying a lot. They punished this guy a whole year because he bet on a few games on FanDuel. Come on, man. And now, if he directly betted on a game involving his team and they lost, and he bet against his own team, that's some pretty bad stuff. And yeah, he deserves to get a whole year. But my problem with the punishment is this, is it's not consistent with what you should be doing in other matters. Like when Ray Rice beat the living shit out of his girlfriend in the elevator on the camera, you give him 2 games. 2 games, Roger Goodell. Damn. That shows what they think about humans in general. Their human decency is just not there. I mean, we've always knew it. It ain't something that I'm just now coming to the realization of. It's not something that I'm putting upon you people out there that you're going to be like, wow, I never thought of that. Because we all know that it's all about money. And he's betting on games that directly affect their league and affect their what? What class? Money. It affects their money. These people beating these people up and stuff, it don't really affect their money and their thinking, but they're wrong. Because people like me, the casual fan, have been turned off by it. Then you have Adrian Peterson. A few years back, just beat the shit out of his kid. Now, I'm not one of those Bible thumpers or one of those left-wing liberals that think you shouldn't ever spank your child. I'm not saying that. You can spank your child without bringing blood. This man took a switch to a little kid, 4 or 5 years old now, and whipped his legs up and brought blood. There's no excuse for that. Y'all can disagree with me with that all day long. To me, that's bullshit. You can spank your kid without bringing blood. And all he got was 6 games for bringing blood from a kid. But you give Calvin Ridley a year, and you give Josh Gordon, that's another one, that's being overly punished, almost 6 seasons, 6 years worth of punishment for smoking weed? Really? Last check, weed don't beat up children. Weed don't beat up women. And the list goes on and on about these players that beat up people. What was the guy's name? The defensive player beat up his wife, and she had to put a restraining order on him, and he got Greg something. Y'all probably help me out with the last name. Well, Greg beats up his wife and shit, and they give him 10 games, and guess what? They reduced it to 4. Because he's got anger issues. He can't help it. She made him mad. He had to release it and shut the hell up. That's why I don't watch pro sports anymore. And I didn't even try. I'm not here trying to make a protest or an epic statement. I'm not saying y'all need to stop watching pro sports. I just stopped watching it. And I didn't even realize it until after we got right to the Super Bowl. I'm like, you know what? I ain't even watched an NFL game in over a year. Haven't watched a Major League Baseball game probably in 3 or 4 years. Haven't watched an NBA game probably in 3 or 4 years. And it's because you people out there that run these organizations, y'all have a misconstrued, retarded, spastic way of thinking. It's like in society, it'd be like I go out there and just beat the shit out of this guy, make him lose his fucking eye or something. He beat the hell out of him so bad his eye pops out of his socket, and Tuscaloosa PD and the municipal courts around here give me 2 weeks of probation. And then you have someone go down there and maybe deface a statue or something, and they'll give you like 3 years in prison. Y'all are misconstrued badly. And that's why people are turned off by pro sports now. And if y'all want to rectify that, get your morals in check. Quit being a jackass and thinking we don't see the shit. Y'all just like these politicians, man. Y'all think that we're so stupid that we don't see through you guys. You're transparent. The only thing is that the police, military, and all that shit, they protect you from the mob that wants to get you and set you straight. Because I don't know what else to say about it, man. It just aggravates the hell out of me. That's why I didn't even want to do a podcast about it, because of the damn hypocrisy that's running amok and all this bullshit. And that's why I just don't watch pro sports anymore, because they're all full of shit. They're a bunch of hypocrites, and they don't give a shit about you, and they don't give a shit about those players. And that's all I got to say about that. Like, share, comment, and subscribe to this channel. And as always, KMCA to all the other teams.